What's up everyone, this is Ryan here. Today I'm going to do a tugging video to steal a GTA 26 mini chainsaw. Now it will get used again at some point. I hope it's this weekend or next weekend I'll get this thing used at some point because you can see I'm expecting this machine exactly which it will get used at some point this year because you know I expected it because you see how much expected it because I hope at some point this year will get used at some point this year because it will get used again at some point because you see, which is, I hope at some point this thing will get used at some point this year for 2025 exactly, which because you see how much expected this thing exactly, which I'm hoping some point the things will get used at some point this year, because you see how much expected this thing exactly, which is definitely how much expected this thing exactly, which I promise that I hope at some point, fingers crossed, this thing will get this used at some point this year. Because you see how much expected it, which is I do like this thing a lot because you see how much expected this chainsaw is exactly, which I can see how much expected this thing exactly, which is definitely how much I expected this machine exactly, which because you see how much expected this thing expected, which this is a 2022 model, so this thing came out like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, something like that, because you see how much expected this thing exactly, which 2 years ago I think it's like because you see how much expected this thing exactly, which it's definitely what it is exactly on this machine exactly, but don't surprise me that it's gonna get used almost like quite a bit because you see how much expected this machine exactly, which I do hope some point this thing will get used at some point this year for 2025 exactly, which it will get used at some point because you see how much expected this exactly, which is definitely how much we expected this machine exactly, which it will get used at some point this year because you can see how it's changed exactly, which is definitely how much we expected this on this machine exactly, which is definitely how much we expected this machine exactly. So I do hope some point this thing will get used at some point this year for 2025 exactly, which I promise you this thing will get used at some point this year. But this is a very nice looking machine.